let's turn to the Kings part of this one. So they still have Buddy Hield, and they already had a crowded backcourt. They also drafted Davion Mitchell in the draft, which led to a lot of head scratching from people. I guess they are forcing their hand here. What do you, Rob? What do you do with Hield here? Do you see like a natural fit for him on another team? If you're the Kings, is he a good enough player where you're just like, well, he shoots really well, I actually just want to keep him around?
I mean, I wish he were a little bit more positionally versatile so that you could play him with some of these smaller guards and feel good about it. But because he isn't a great defender, because he isn't huge in terms of length, he kind of limits what you can do there. He's going to have a market. The question is, can you get him to the teams that need him, and do those teams have enough salary to send back? Because like the Sixers would be a perfect trade target. They just don't have the contract filler to make that make sense unless, you know, the Kings eventually get in on like a 3-way trade that involves Ben Simmons later or something like that. So I think it could get complicated. I could see the Knicks getting in on him a little later in the summer, you know, if they whiff on some of their cap space plans. I could see, I was kind of wondering if the Spurs might have interest in Buddy Hield with, you know, some of their longer term prospects, a guy like Devin Vassell, for example. If you could sell the Kings on, hey, here's the small forward you don't have, you know, they could plug in to be a part of your long-term core. Could that be interesting to them? I don't know. But Hield is tough because he is very attractive in terms of skill set. Everyone can use a shooter of his caliber, but can you make room for a $22 million salary? That's a different question.
Yeah, you know, the team that immediately came to my mind was Dallas. And that's because, you know, Tim Hardaway Jr.'s contract is up. Who knows what direction that goes, right? Like, that could get pretty, like, I think he's a bellwether for the market because that can get pretty crazy. Like, it's not impossible to think that he might think, hey, 4 years, $100 million. What the fuck? Look at what I did in the playoffs last year. I'm solidly a starting caliber 2 guard in this league. I'm an elite shooter. My thing is, you know, he doesn't have any on-ball stuff. Neither does Buddy Hield. You know, like Buddy Hield is not really a shot creator. He's kind of just catch and shoot. Like he does, don't get it twisted. He does take shots off the dribble. He's just not very good at it.
Well, we can happily report he can actually dribble a little bit now.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. He is elevated to a little bit of dribbling and passing, which we'll take it.
But he is elite as the shot maker, which I think like applies to virtually every team in the league. Like he isn't an ideal fit for some teams, but I'm just like thinking about like the teams that could use him. I'm like, literally every team needs a 40% 3-point shooter. So I don't know. I think it's the type of thing where like if you're the Kings, maybe you should take note of that fact that he is such a modern player that a lot of teams would want, and think to yourself like, maybe I could find a fit for him somewhere.
Or maybe there might not be a rush. You know, like that doesn't necessarily have to happen right now. Maybe that's a move that comes closer to the deadline when someone's needs are a little bit more apparent.
But also when you're the Kings and you're the Knicks East, like, what are you doing right now? What is your team, right? Like, for instance, you know, we bring up Phoenix. We kind of know Phoenix's offseason is like, we're trying to bring back Chris Paul. We're trying to get better. We just came from the finals. Like, there's a clear idea about who they are. Utah, you go down the line. Even I would say on the different end of the spectrum, Memphis, who's like, we're not in a rush to get way better. We're nowhere close to anything that's going to matter in this league. We don't mind gaining an asset so that we could take a step back in talent because we're not there yet. Like, these are teams who know exactly who they are. Who the fuck are the Kings?
They just keep compounding the issue they already had, which is that their backcourt is crowded, right? But I will say we have a Davion Mitchell fan in the midst here, and we have to pay some bills. So I think this is a good time to pivot. Guys, do you know how some folks are quick to doubt the rookies or even understate their excellence coming into the league? Make no mistake, this is their time to shine and show out with career-defining moves on that court. Waz, you liked one particular overlooked rookie in this draft class. Who was it?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Davion Mitchell. I think on talent, he was one of the top 7 or 6 guys probably, right? Just on talent. But because of his age, I think people were scared of him. But to me, he's not one of these older players where in college he stuck around and outskilled and outsmarted people. This guy is elite athletically. To me, he's a souped up Patrick Beverley in his final form. And that's extremely valuable NBA player. So to me, he's the most slept on rookie. And I don't just say that because he gave us the exclusive interview on Full Court Fits. Go check that out on YouTube at the Ringers YouTube page.
Sure. Well, that's a wrap, my friends. And just like these rookies won on the court, you could win with your insurance by getting the personalized service of a local agent, all for a surprisingly great rate with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.